Trump urges Europe to cut Russian oil imports, increase pressure on China. Washington, President Donald Trump on September 4th pressed European leaders to halt purchases of Russian oil that are funding the war in Ukraine and urged them to place economic pressure on Beijing for supporting the Kremlin's war effort. A White House official told the Epoch Times. Trump participated virtually in a summit of Ukraine's top allies, the Coalition of the Willing, hosted in Paris by French President Emmanuel Macron. During his speech, Trump pointed out that Russia earned about €1.1 billion from fuel sales to the European Union over the past year. Revenue, he said, is helping sustain the Kremlin's military campaign. He also stressed the need for coordinated economic pressure on China, accusing Beijing of assisting Moscow. At the September 4th summit, the coalition leaders and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed the shape of security guarantees that would be provided to Kyiv. The summit in Paris, attended by nearly 30 leaders either in person or virtually, focused on what sort of military contributions they could make to Ukraine to deter Russia from attacking again in the event of a final peace agreement. The leaders of France, the UK, Germany, and several NATO member countries in Europe, as well as Turkey, Australia, and Canada, joined the summit. Speaking after the summit, Macron said that if Russia continues to reject peace talks, there would be new sanctions in coordination with Washington. In addition, Macron announced that 26 countries have pledged to give Ukraine security guarantees in the event of a peace deal with Russia. He noted that the guarantees will include deploying troops in Ukraine or maintaining a presence on land, at sea, or in the air. It remains unclear what guarantees the United States will offer. Trump has ruled out deploying troops on the ground in Ukraine, while suggesting the United States could provide air support. The meeting comes as Trump's two-week deadline for a bilateral meeting between Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin nears. Trump told reporters on September 3rd that he has no message for Putin, but hinted that new sanctions could be on the way. "I have no message to President Putin," Trump said during a meeting with Poland's newly elected president, Karol Nawrocki, at the White House. "He knows where I stand. And he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen. Push for a peace deal." Trump held a summit with Putin in Alaska on August 15th, followed by another meeting a few days later with Zelensky and several European leaders at the White House. After these discussions, Trump said he would give both sides 2 weeks to explore the possibility of holding a bilateral meeting and making progress toward a peace deal in Ukraine. Speaking during a press conference in Beijing on September 3rd, Putin said he was ready to meet with Zelensky in Moscow. "If a meeting in question is well-prepared and may potentially lead to positive results, we can have it, and I never turn this idea down," Putin said. "By the way, Donald asked me, if possible, to hold such a meeting. I told him it was possible. After all, if Zelensky is ready, he can come to Moscow, and we will have such a meeting." However, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha rejected the idea of a meeting in Moscow. Putin continues to mess around with everyone by making knowingly unacceptable proposals, he wrote on X on September 3rd in response. During his meeting with Nawrocki, Trump said he also plans to speak with the Russian president in the coming days. The U.S. president rebutted claims that he has not taken any action against Moscow, citing the recent tariffs on India for buying sanctioned Russian oil. "Would you say there was no action that cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia?" Trump asked a reporter. "You call that no action? And I haven't done Phase 2 yet or Phase 3. Trump recently imposed an additional 25% tariff on imports from India, raising the total tariff rate to 50% in response to New Delhi's continued purchases of Russian oil. On the evening of September 2nd, Trump accused Chinese leader Xi Jinping, Putin, and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un of conspiring against the United States as they gathered for a military parade in Beijing marking the anniversary of China's defeat of the Japanese in World War II. "Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America," Trump wrote in a message to Xi on Truth Social. Chris Summers contributed to this report.